Hello, DJ TMNT here, and today we're going to be discussing some good stuff because Toy Fair is coming up soon. So I'm guessing it's going to be Saturday morning, we'll see it, but the Playmates panel should be on Saturday. That's when we'll start seeing stuff from TMNT. So first I want to get out my predictions. So I have a list of stuff here, so we're going to go in order of how it usually goes here. So the role play stuff. So first, once we got like the ninja reveals where you could conceal their weapons. The second one were the building battle ones. I think the third ones were like the ones you could just like spin around their weapons. This is the one I think is more likely to happen, where this one's a power sound FX one, so where you can like use their weapons and like they'll swish them around and they'll make sounds. I think that's the one they'll go with. However, there's a different one I hope they do, which is this one, which will be like their night ninja weapons. So, you know, in Leo's arc in season 2 where they get new weapons and they get like their full masks on like actual ninjas. I hope that's what they do, so that could also be an option. I don't think they'll do both, but the more likely one is they'll do the one that makes sounds, so probably a battery in there that'll make like swish sounds and maybe some sound effects, and if a ninja star in the mask. But made Mutant Mayhem ones back in 2024. These are the ones they made for the show. They were at Target, but if you look, they released this I think last year in 2025 on Amazon. There was like this locker set, and these are based off the show design, so you can see comparison of them. So these are different molds for the masks, so we might even just get basic weapons for the roleplay, just like with no extra futuristic weapons. But for the masks, I'm guessing they'll just release these new sculpts. It's kind of likely, but we'll see. Would be their turtle shell. So again, it released on Amazon in 2023. It was in this box set that came with like a mask and the katana, you know. But I saw like at Toys R Us in Canada, they actually released the shell by itself. It didn't come with the star, it's just the shell. And I remember for the 2012 series, like, the shell was sold separately like, at Walmart and Target. So that has not happened in the US. So I hope we get like the turtle shell like on shelves at Target, Walmart in the US. So the tails like design as well, but we'll see. But first we had the T-Sprints, which are either canceled or they're waiting to release them this year. I hope they're not canceled because we saw these at Toy Fair back in like late 2023, and then they didn't come out until early 2025. So there has been times where they do release stuff that might have been canceled. So the T-Sprints, I'm hoping on that, because these made my childhood. I loved these from the 2012 show. So you're also going to see a lot of the toys I bring up here are based off stuff from the 2012 line. So next will be the mystery mini mutants. So these little guys from the capsules that I've been opening on the channel. They might make a second wave, so characters I think could happen would be like Splinter, Scumbug, Wayfilet, Wingnut, Genghis Frog, Leatherhead, and then they would get their own figure of accessories, but I really would want like baby figures for them, so like you see how we got baby Bebop, and then we have the baby turtles, so that's what I really want that, because those are like a new sculpts. So I was thinking, what would they make, right? Like stretchy, like they already kind of made that, like, but plushes, like something like in the middle ground. And I was like, these, man, these are from my childhood. Specifically, I think Mikey and especially Leo, these two, I remember the most. So they're stretchy, but their arms can fling, kind of like the stretch and shout figures where you can fling them. I want those to come out. Those would be cool. Next, we come down to the vehicles. So there's 4 that I'm thinking will come out. So first one is the Night Cycle. So this is from season 2. So if you've seen season 2, you'll see that Leo gets his own like Night Cycle from the Night Ninja arc. You know, the cycle that Leo and April ride on. So that's kind of like, and then it would come with Leo with like his own head sculpt with the helmet on. So like a little helicopter that you can drop ooze. That would be kind of cool for like a new vehicle for Tails. Next would be new buggies. So I remember the 2012 line had buggies for all 4 of the turtles, but earlier in the year, last year, they had buggies for Leo and Donnie. So this year in 2026, they might make Raph and Mikey. So they'll have all 4 buggies. And I think you can control, I mean, you can connect both of these. So if they release the other 2 this year, we'll be able to connect all 4. Now we move down to the deluxe figures, like the ninja shouts, the pet turtles, the flingers stuff. I think this one's the one that's going to happen the most. First, we have like the backflip ones. The 80s series got some like it's kind of like they're jumping in a way. So like backflips, somersaults, and they'll come on like open packaging like this. So you can see, press a button on the back and it'll like backflip. But if they don't make those for the deluxe figures, I think they could do this, where it's like ninja combat, kind of similar to the roleplay that makes sound. So you could see you have the turtles and maybe a villain like Superfly or something like that, and you can make them fight, and they have a button on their torso that like if you press, it will actually make them like grunts and moans and like hits like. And then like that, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like how you play with your action figures and you pretend they get hurt and stuff. So, alright, so now for playsets. I have about 4 ideas for what they could do for playsets. So last year, of course, we got the big mouth playsets for Leo and Raph. I did a review for Raph, but it was on my older phone, so it's kind of lost media at this point. So sadly, didn't get to post that. That was before my channel, but even the concept of it, it's cool. Donnie and Mikey as like big mouth playsets, except you'll get a Donnie figure, and you'll get a Bebop little figure, and you'll get a Mikey. For the Mikey one, you'll get a little Mikey, and then you'll get a mini Rocksteady. So like, since we already have all 4 of the turtles, we'll get like the villains now, which would be cool. Last year on Amazon, we got this. So this pop-up playset, kind of similar to this sewer, made out of cardboard. It comes with 2 of the head dropping turtles. What I think they should do next for playsets, if they were going to do another playset, would be kind of like they did with the 2012 series. So like this is kind of like an Antonio's Pizza Box from the 2012 series, and what they would do is they would actually, it's actual plastic, so it would actually come out and be like a mini playset. It's like a medium scale playset with action features and stuff. They could also do would be in the Pet Turtle playset, they had like this little mini battle arena. So like this little arena where 2 characters could fight. So now this one is the one I've wanted for a while, but so you know the original Sewer playset, right? It's big, and it was I think $80 when it was at Target. So, but the thing I've noticed about it, I don't think I had the 2012 Sewer, but just to compare, so this one, the new one for the new generation, is 25 inches. It's over 40 inches tall. That's the one I'd want. So kind of like their final goodbye to TMNT, what I would want would be this giant one. And I know they're probably not going to do that because, well, storage, like stores probably aren't going to be able to carry this. Maybe it's an Amazon exclusive, I don't know, but because usually for like stuff like the Foot Cruiser or the Technodrome playset or the Sewer playset from the 80s show, Playmates just released those for Amazon. So they could also do that with the Tales of the TMNT series. Maybe what I'm guessing is that they might have had a new Sewer for the sequel, but since they can't make toys for the sequel because they're losing the license this year, they could probably like put it in Tales of the TMNT packaging and kind of change up the background, maybe release new figures like the Night Ninja figures or stuff like that to promote the new Sewer. So I'd want it to be like 40 inches tall like this, or at least 30 to 35 inches, you know. And the reason why I think it's cooler because look how many figures you could put on the like the 2012 one. Like there's like different sections you could put all of them on. And that looks sick, dude. I mean, to this, like, you could have, like, maybe 10 figures around here, stuff like that. But this, you really could have fun with this. Display-wise, play-wise, anything, really, so. And there's all this, like, just whirling and stuff, like, different platforms, different areas they could, like, and then action features as well. Mainly for display, for me, because I'm older, I want to display it, but. Now we're gonna get to the giant figures. Head dropping giant figures, so of course we have the small head dropping figures, so pop it in and it comes out. So they showed a giant version of Leo last year. It might be canceled, it might not. Again, we'll see. If they decide to cancel that and not do that, what I would want is maybe the interactive turtle. So again, like a lot of interactive stuff. So like I remember this was a Toys R Us exclusive, the Donnie one, but you like have the buttons, and then Mikey would say something, and then Donnie would like kind of receive it, and then Donnie would say something back to Mikey, so they'd be talking back and forth. So that'd be kind of like a cool item to have. The one which I would want the most would be their battle shell, because Rise 2003, 2012, they all got battle shell figures, but the Mutant Mayhem universe has not gotten battle shell figures, not for the 4-inch figures, not for the giant 12-inch figures. So what I want is for them to get these 12-inch figures. And they come with like ninja stars, different weapons, stuff like that. And their shell can open. I have a Raph one from my childhood. I remember I had the Donnie one as well. Probably I had all 4 of them, but they're very nostalgic to me. And I remember they released Leo and Mikey at Target like last year as reissues, but wasn't able to get them. But they might still be at your Target, so you can check it out. But then the last one is kind of one I hope they do. So if you remember, 2023 8-inch figure, and it was considered a giant figure, so I hope we get the Omega Mutant as a 12-inch or 8-inch figure, maybe even a 12-inch, because I've seen some of the clips, but I've seen this guy is big, so I'd like if they did that. That'd be cool. If not, they could do what they did with the Mega Mutant and make him like a small 4-inch figure. Now we get to these, the fun part, the basic figures we'll get, because this is the last year, and I don't think they have anything to hide anymore, because they're not making toys for the sequel, and season 2 is already out. So unlike the last 2 years, they can show all their figures. I'm hoping this year. All right, please. But I have a list of like 50 or 60 figures we're gonna go over. So what I think they could do is give us storage show ones. It's such a classic thing for Turtles figures, so I hope they do it. If not, though, the next like variant Turtles they could do would be the eye popping and tongue popping figures. So the eyes will come out or the tongue will come out. You know, the 2012 show did this, but the 80s show did this too, and it was pretty cool. So they could also do that for like variants. One they could do would be, because like, you know, the things keep exploding, so like the ooze could be like painted on them, so that'd be cool. Kind of like how Bebop with all the ooze. Or they could do like ooze, like kind of like Ghostbusters, or like ooze canisters and stuff. So I could fling and scoop ooze like that. That'd be cool. Next, which is when I think it's obvious is gonna happen, because we got the Battle Arena figure. So I think next we'll get the Night Ninja outfits, especially Leo. It's awesome. Those ones I hope we get, but and then one I really hope we get, because I remember when I watched the trailer, which again that reaction is also gone sadly, but I really want to figure Mikey in this trench coat outfit, because again, you can even see in the 90s movie, the 80s show also, like is like I think the 2014 movie also did it. So, and they got, I think they had raffles in the disguise and they made a figure for that. So I don't see why they wouldn't make a Mikey version of that. That is a classic look. They even did it for the 2012 show with Leo. So Mikey, it would make sense to give Mikey one, right? Like it would make sense. So, and then the last one is just kind of like one if they just want to do it, but I kind of hope we get these single. It'd be so funny. I walk into like a Walmart, maybe Target, but like just walk into that store, just find single cards instead of the normal Me Mayhem ones. I just find the bootleg ones. That would be so funny. It's all for the turtle variants, but for the characters, Pete kind of like in the his like smart form from the second season, so with the glasses and the vest, that would just be funny. Also, because the first one we got wasn't really accurate, and it was a mix and match figure, so there wasn't a lot of articulation. So I think that'd be funny if we got that. Metalhead as like in a spider form. So of course we got the first version, which is like his main form, but this spider one would be cool. The articulation would be nice, so I could have all 8 legs. Be cool ones, especially Hun, man. Like I think 2003 got him a figure, so that'd be cool. Just give us an armor figure, why not? Other characters we can get are like Scratch, so like I think we will be getting a Scratch figure. Like he's one of my favorite designs of the new Mutants in the second season. And then of course we'll probably get figures for all of these guys. It's probably why they made that story arc for all these characters, so Tolka, Worm, Anthrax, Skeletor, Lazar, you know, I want all of those. Those would be cool. Bro, Muckman is so cool. I'm not gonna show it yet, just to hopefully have good luck, but I remember I saw the leak for this figure last year, and I want it so bad, dude. Oh, it looks so cool. It looked like it was in production, because the figure and the design looked different. I kind of hope we get the one from the production, like a prototype, but that's still cool. That design is awesome. Florina from season 2, and like, you know, maybe we might get her guards too, because those are cool designs. I don't know if we'll get the figures from the comics. I did see a post recently on Reddit, and even the creator of the comics, or writer of the comics, says like, I hope we get figures, so we can get Fugitoid, which, oh my gosh, for the 2012 figures, I love the Fugitoid figure for that. So like it's such an easy figure too. It's based off the 80s line. Like they have to. Also another one, which would be Zog, the Triceraton mutant. So oh my gosh, if they make a Triceraton figure for this iteration, oh my gosh, bro, please give us that, please, man. Playmates, please. I don't care what you're gonna do. I don't care that you're losing the license. Just give me these 2 figures and I'll be yours. Dude, please, I want them, man. Like you gave us figures for the short film in theaters. You gave us 2 seasons worth of figures, hopefully. You gave us the movie. You even gave us figures for for the video game, even though they kind of suck. But, yeah. Just please, I'm begging you, especially for Fugitoid. I want both of them so much.